Wow.
Okay. You are okay. I have all kinds of things in front of my screen, but this is Chris. Would you like to speak about your new works?
Yeah. Well, this one is the best one of the three that I made during a workshop that I took. And it was like just expressionism.
Mhm.
And it was like one thing led to another. The only thing I chose was the palette, but that was after I was halfway through the painting. So this was the first one, and I really like this one the best. And there are two more that you have up there, but it's layer upon layer upon layer of collage, paint, dry media. Let me think. I guess that covers everything, huh?
Yeah.
I just love the way your mind works, Chris. This composition is great. And, even just the visual reference of it just swirls my eye through the whole piece and brings me back again and again, which, was one of the points I think that Sally made many, many years ago about drawing the viewer into your composition, not letting them leave, and go off the end. So this just keeps me coming back. I love it.
Oh, thanks, Nancy. Thank you.
I love this piece, Chris. Gosh, I mean, these new pieces you're doing are just really so interesting. You could spend a long time just examining it, and even just your random squiggles and stuff. There's a lot in there. So
Well, what was interesting about this workshop is they said you want to put some maybe words or letters or whatever, so that when you come close up, you kind of have an interest in the close up versus standing far away. It was an interesting kind of concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is the word up? What is the word up there by the top of the bottle?
I don't have any. I don't know. Oh, maybe the one at the top might be fresh or something. I don't know. Mostly asemic writing, so that there's nothing really recognizable.
It looked like energy equals MC squared or something like
Oh,
that.
good.
Never mind, because I know you have a scientific background. I thought she's putting a formula up there. Something secret.
Yeah.
What was this workshop that you referred to? I know I don't want to take up much time. Was it something available on Zoom that we might be able to take?
No,
as well?
actually, you have to sign up for it, and her name is Judy Woods.
Okay.
And she, I think, like every now and then offers this free workshop, and then there's a paying one as well, which I didn't buy because it was very expensive.
Okay. It's on Zoom though, right? Or available.
Well, you have to sign up and
Or
then
YouTube.
links.
Oh, Chris, my comment, I believe, when you've got all these layers, it really adds to the luminosity of the paint layers that you apply. It gives a lot of depth to it. And did you start out with the black under layer and then you built up on top of it?
I didn't. I started with collage, just random collage. And then I painted the whole surface one color. I think this one I might have painted brown. Because when you look at the other ones, you'll see that there is a color that I chose to cover the whole thing up with. Then I cannot remember exactly how the other colors came about, to be honest with you. I think that was all.
You apply your collage first. You apply your collage first?
Yeah, collage first.
And you don't
Some
lose
of it,
those pieces.
You can't see those pieces. You can't see the collage, but it adds some interest, I think, because up at the top right, you can see a square, etc.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Well, it's not a lot different than what you have been doing, but Chris sent me 3 things this time, and you know what I noticed? That's the newest thing you're doing, Chris. That's very interesting. You see this yellow ochre line that you're bringing through. It unifies all the parts, and I noticed in all the 3 things you sent, that's what the job that it does. So, is it something you're trying new?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think it's a good way you're right, to unify things.
It really does. Draws it together. Yeah.
Yeah. And then make the painting cheerful. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
We need cheerful.
That's what we want. Yeah. Beautiful.
I love it. Beautiful.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. The color palette is gorgeous. And so here comes another one with this beautiful yellow ochre line that does miracles. but this time you've got rectangles going through with the yellow.
Mhm.
But it does the job.
And this one is probably my least favorite. I don't know. I think I need to take some things out.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you what do you guys think I should take out?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. No,
I see it's
well,
different.
to me, it's a little, I see like mine sees four corners. I mean, because there's four dominant,
Yeah.
images in the four corners. Maybe you might on that bottom right, that tall leaf, maybe put something going diagonal or round coming out of that to fill in that void in the middle, but not too much.
Mm.
I don't know. Otherwise, I leave it alone.
All right.
The black on the I call it the vase on the left.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of irritates me a little bit. I don't know, a little bit too black.
Too black. Okay.
Makes it look very heavy to me down there. But I know you need a little weight down there, but it makes it a little too heavy.
Okay.
But the rest, as that leaf, that stuff on the right is
You mean this leaf here?
not quite. I don't know if it's the sharp edges or what, but the leaf and the
You mean this
the
leaf?
rest of the left-hand side, I really love.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think this painting gave me a strong view. It's like a tropical style, but I just feel less of middle value.
Okay. That's a good tip.
Yeah, the tone. Yeah, it's either dark or light. Right. Yeah, you're right. Up on the left, that middle leaf, that's kind of pinkish, that rose. That might be interesting to bring a little of that lighter rose into a couple other elements or pieces of the painting. That might unify it even without having to do too much more composition wise. Yeah. Good point.
Good tip. Thank you.
The middle value, following up with Joy's comment about a middle value. So I think maybe just a hint of a little more definition in this area here, because it's right in the middle of the painting, sort of, and it's empty. I mean, maybe bring out intensify these colors just a little, but not as much as the rest of it. Just
okay. Those are great tips. Thank you.
It's kind of bland right here.
I can't stop thinking about that lovely rose color that's up there in that upper left. It's really beautiful.
Yes.
With the turquoise, the light teal next to it. So maybe just a couple spots of that elsewhere in the painting, and I think it's fantastic.
Okay, great. That's great tips. Thank you.
Nice.
But you know what I told Nancy about one of her works, Chris, is you see how your background looks like you didn't quite know exactly what to do with it, but yet the best things happen when you're not sure.
Right.
Because it's a beautiful background. You've got a lot of interest in it without it being jumping out at you. So
yes,
very nice. Thanks. Now,
so this one, I think I painted the major color after I collage was red.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the third. And here's our beautiful yellow ochre lines. I think they do a fabulous job, and I'm glad it's asymmetrical. It's very nice. Yeah.
And those were the shape wasn't like that. I put the stems on after I decided I wanted them to be wine glasses. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So this was a very fun workshop, but it's very tedious, and it's well, I think it's good for everybody to do this kind of process, because it kind of gets you loose, you know.
Yeah.
I love the different colors you have in this one, particularly those couple, strong blue and a strong green and a strong yellow, and the rest of them being kind of, medium tone. This really works.
So this one, I drew in those light blue glasses later.
Yeah.
Oh,
the old glasses, they're same shape, but Chris did a very good job for the design.
Well, thank you, Joy.
Yeah, to make the same shape and a different, interesting position on the color. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
I tried to push some of the blues forward and put some of them in the background. So I
Chris,
thought that was more
yeah.
interesting.
my only comment is if you were to divide this canvas diagonally this way, if you put your hand and cover up the upper
Yeah.
left triangle, what you've got, whoops, I went and did something. Don't ask me what.
But we can see, I can still see it.
The lower right triangular part, you've got a lot of, it's more, to me, it's more interesting because it's so ambiguous and things are running into each other. But now if you cover the lower right triangle of this piece, like I said, drawing through the middle, for me, like if you've covered the lower right, all the stuff in the upper left, I think they're all kind of fighting for attention. I just feel like maybe you could have a little more subtlety in the edges.
Ah, okay.
They're all kind of popping out, and whereas on the lower right,
Yeah, I could push some of that back.
yeah, I think
Upper left.
that would really help a lot.
Good tips.
For example, this is so sharp edged right here, and this is sharp edged, and that's sharp edged, and that's sharp edged. I think we could do without all those sharp images. Just mute them a little bit, but the colors are beautiful.
Okay, that's a great tip. Thank you.
Okay, just my input. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for all the great tips.
Great job, Chris.
Now, let's see why I can't move forward with my slides. Oh, here we go. Okay, thank. I always hold my breath whenever I'm trying to run this program.
Those are neat, Barry.
I think I probably did all those when you were still down here, Nancy. These are the basswood. It's very soft and easy to work, and they just give such a nice smooth finish.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember seeing them live. They're beautiful.
This is a copy of an African wood stone sculpture that I got a photograph of. I can't remember what wood I got for this sort of thing, and I remember it at the time. It's a cat, but it's also South African. I noticed that there's an S and an A in there.
I see it. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Once I put that out, I sometimes lose the cat. But they're nice. They're kind of nice sizes. That cat's probably probably about 14 inches. So this one or the pelican or whatever it is about 12 inches, I think, and then the little guy's about 3 or 4 inches high and 6 or 7 inches long.
Yeah,
Very beautiful.
some of these are reminiscent of Scott's work, and this pelican is just adorable. Do you remember last time when I showed you at the that art festival the bronze casting of the family, how they unified everybody at the waist and then they opened up the rest? This is I love this application where this is all in relief, and then this is a free form. Why don't you do these more, Barry? They're so good.
Yes, it's a question I'm asked often. I think that thing started off was going to be a bird of paradise. But as I worked on it, I think I probably lost some wood at the top and had to change it around. But it ended up like this, which I like it. It's nice.
I think it's very elegant.
Yes,
and
I agree. Yes,
that wood is so nice and smooth that it it fits with the tone of the piece.
The light colored ones are, and you've gotten such a smooth finish. They almost look stoned, like they're stoned.
They can look in the photographs, yes.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
I know it's a no-no for sculpture, but it just makes me want to touch them, and
Well,
run my fingers
that's the
around
joy of
shape.
wood. I think all wood sculptures you should be able to touch.
yeah.
Yay.
The the look of the wood and the feel of the wood go well together.
Right. Stone
Gorgeous.
too.
Stone too, right? Except it's
Yeah.
cold when you touch stone, right, Eileen?
Keep it in a warm place.
Yeah. Well, I'm dying to see what Eileen has come up with these days. So
Yeah.
don't keep us in suspense, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, I've been, I haven't been sculpting for a while, so I'm back on a piece almost finished, but it's been a good exercise. I don't know if it's what I want, but I'll try to take a picture and show. That's
Great.
Well, look at what Scott has been achieving. He got best of show for one of his sculptures recently, and he keeps winning
Right.
all these awards. Anyway, here we go next. Okay, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, remember when I took that cruise ship down to the Mexican Riviera, and I found these 3
Yes.
children, and I did show this at Cole Gallery, and I think I got an award of some kind. It might have been 3rd. And what I've since been doing, because when I look at each face, it shows you a vision of who they are, who they're going to be in the future. And so I've actually isolated this young man here. And right now I'm going to show you this middle person because he looks like a devil, doesn't he? Up to no good.
He's looking right at you.
Mischievous.
I asked them in Spanish why they're not in school, and they all said de vacaciones. That was their story anyway. I found them in the brickyard where they were making these adobe bricks. So anyway, keep your eyes on this little guy here because I did cut him out, and I'm trying to make a portrait of him. And here was I have 2 versions, and this is the first version where he stands alone.
Strong.
Yeah. But then, it's like a tourist photo, and I tried to enhance it so that it would look like more of a portrait rather than just a tourist picture. And I came up with this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's really nice, Joan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow.
Yeah, what I love is the way the lighting came out in his head. And
Yeah, I was going to say the lighting. Yeah.
yeah, because here's the first one where
Yeah.
the background kind of comes up in front of you, but here it's just him.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. And
Nice job.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
that's the good thing about this Zoom meeting is that I have been lazy. I haven't felt motivated to do anything. And then I thought I have to have something for this meeting. So
This
maybe
is brilliant. It looks like a painting. I mean, I know you made a piece of art out of your first shot, and gosh, the fact that you were able to single him out. I know you're very well scripted with all these digital art programs, but just amazing. Like you just staged him to stand that way and to glare at you. I mean, give you that kind of like suspicious smile. It's lovely.
Did you work on the bricks as well at just below, like next to his legs?
The bricks have been, I've played with the bricks so much they don't even look like what was original.
Well, that's great because that's really lovely. The sort of blurriness of the brick and the shadow
and watercolor
brings him out. It's beautiful.
And then the sand and dirt on the ground. I did something to it. I can't remember, but it turned out to be a little more abstract.
Yes.
Which I thought was quite nice.
I like it like that. It's gorgeous. He really, really stands out.
Okay. Thanks. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I get the girl done. Maybe that'll be for next month.
There you go.
But like I said, I actually forced myself to do this, you guys. And here we got Joy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Master of watercolor.
Yeah.
And portraiture.
Yeah. I got this photo from my friend. She went to Tibetan village, and she took this and sent it to me. And actually, I really like the girl.
Yes.
And this girl is her grandmother.
Mm.
Tibetan, they have a very special skin color because it's highland, and their face you can recognize who is from Tibet because their face skin.
Oh,
Mm.
didn't know that. I love the way your foreground, right on the right bottom side, Joy, is all foggy like that.
Like this.
Mhm.
That layering, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, watercolor.
Mhm.
Actually, the original photo there was three persons, and the girl just half body.
Ah,
I made something I really like.
This is nice because you zoomed in on the figures because they are the primary stars of the show. And I mean, I'm just staring at the hair. The hair
yes,
on
me
both of the
too.
figures is,
I
is
know.
phenomenal.
You're a master of hair.
Oh, the
Amazing.
grandma, just beautiful.
Did you use
The
resist?
lighting, of course.
Joy, did you use resist to keep the white of the hair?
I use some masking fluid.
That's what I mean, resist. That's what I mean.
Not much. Yeah, just some at the top. I use toothpick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Up here,
Hmm.
did you do that up here, Joy? The toothpick technique?
Yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
And the background, did you do that for the first wet, put that in wet, the background?
Yeah, the background I use blue and
Yeah. But did you do it first or did you put that in first? I'm always don't ever know when to put that in, whether to put it in first and then do the other part
I put the background first.
first, because that's hard to.
Yeah.
Good
Either
question.
way.
Eileen.
Yeah,
Thank
either way. Because the original photo, the background is very plain, like very light gray. They're in the house.
what kind of paper did you use, Joy?
This paper I use Sanders watercolor.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Saunders.
Saunders. I saw that. That's a really good quality paper. Saunders. There was another name after it too. I can't remember now. Waterford, right?
Yes. Yes. Actually, I like that paper. Oh, no. This one, I did it twice. The first one I used Sanders. And then this one is Arches. I found the Arches is good. And
Okay.
Sanders is good for landscape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This depends person like.
Yeah.
I like the beads and the textiles and the way that you softened the hands so that your attention goes to the face. Really beautiful.
Oh, thank
Joy
you.
knows all the tricks. Yes, and the blue is fantastic.
Beautiful.
The grandmother's left hand down right in the middle, the white where the arrow is there, that white I think should be maybe a little more muted. It sort of drags your eye there.
Oh yes. Actually, the original photo they cut off, no hands.
Yeah.
I just
no.
I have no idea how to do. I just blur.
Yeah.
You could do it the way you handled the granddaughter's hand. I mean, it's just very subtle color.
Blur it up a little bit. Yeah.
No lines.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, Joy.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Well,
You always encourage me.
there are two things I had to say. One is it's very striking that you are a master of lighting. You always have been. The way the light comes from one direction and hits the right side of the face and on the top of the head. I mean, that's amazing. One little thing bothers me though is I'm not happy with this shoulder here. It doesn't,
Yes.
it's a little straight and I think it might have gone out a little more, but it kind of draws me over there.
That's right. That is mistake. I cannot figure out how to make up.
But if you weren't Joan Yap, you'd think you'd say it's all perfect. Okay, I'm just nitpicky. But the lighting is just fantastic. Great. Thank you, Joy.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Joy.
you.
Ooh. Wow.
This is just wood with a small how to say stream.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The green in there is beautiful, Joy. The way you have it on the kind of like the right third from the water going up to the trees, that's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the wood. I was so afraid to paint the wood because I always got a bad solution, and this is a pretty challenge. I did many times.
Do you mean
But you can see the depth in the woods. I mean, you really knocked it out of the park here. Very strong values in front and the way they diminish. It's gorgeous. I'm just staring at it and mesmerized.
by
Oh,
woods
thank
you mean the tree trunks, the woods? Joy?
Yes.
You mean by woods, are you talking about the way you handled all the tree trunks and the leaves? I believe that's what you mean. The wood.
The trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I did see an earlier version that Joy did of this where you came a long way, and this is beautifully refined because in the earlier versions, these tree trunks really were jumping at you all with the same intensity. But now you've got them very subtly suggested. And I think it's beautiful the way it fades out in certain areas and the way these fade out, and just a few are punched out. And I think you did a fantastic job on this.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Joy, what do you paint first when you do something like this?
And this one, because I don't have a reference, I use 3 different photos and to combine. The first I did trees first.
Oh, okay.
And I did the wash first and just like a lot of water with color. And then I just use the yellow and the blue and do tree and paint the tree trees first, and also put the leaves.
And then you must do a lot of layering.
No, just 3.
Oh, wow.
One wash, one wash on the trees, and the last is dark. Dark
beautiful.
like the red side and very dark.
Yeah, this pond is very nice. It's shimmery, but it sort of sets off the details of the trees by it being so where you wet in wet. You did a great job on the reflection in the water.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay.
Did you get that really wet, Joy?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yes, the first is really wet.
But even the shadows of the trees, they kind of look wet.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks to me like it could be a winter scene too, with that pond being frozen. I mean, that's the first thought that I had, that it could be just totally flat and frozen. There's so many beautiful, I just, like I say, blown away. There's so many beautiful elements to it.
Yeah. Great job.
Mysterious.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
And Nancy sent us 3 things.
Yeah, you probably won't get to all of them, but that's okay. These are oldies but goodies, like Barry said. I'm just working on a couple new pieces within class, but this is one, it's done on an aluminum panel, which is interesting because I bought them from either Blick or Jerry's Artorama, and there's a rough side and there's a just a smooth side. And it was a new experience. It's acrylic, and I really had to put layers onto it because it isn't like canvas, or paper. It doesn't give it all. It's just hard. So it's like painting on masonite. So it was interesting for me.
Yeah.
But
Very nice. I think I've seen this one before, Nancy.
Yeah.
oh yeah, you've seen all of them because you're in class with me, right? This is
Well
when we
done.
were kind of imitating David Hockney, and he's like my favorite.
Very
favorite.
impressionist.
Wow.
Yeah, very
Beautiful.
Hockney.
Yes.
And
But it was
the-
my daffodils from my garden in spring.
now this
and
is
this-
one of your earlier ones.
Yes, it's done on a cradled masonite panel, so it hangs
Wow.
beautifully and flat on the wall. And that's one of my favorites. I've got it here in my house.
Very
Reminds me.
nice.
Now,
Beautiful, Nancy.
in case they cut us off, here's the most beautiful thing I've seen, Nancy. This is
Oh, wow.
a masterpiece.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not up to
Yes.
Joy's level on watercolor yet,
Oh,
but
oh, you better believe it. This one
I
here.
remember when you did that, Nancy, in
Tough.
class. That's gorgeous. That I didn't see the finished product though. This is the first.
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I finished
Beautiful.
it out of class, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you didn't know what you were doing, it came out beautifully.
Mm.
I had trouble with
Serendipity.
vegetation.
It's great the way the gate fades down at the bottom. I like the subtlety of the bricks down here. Very beautiful work.
Thank you very
Nice.
much.
When
Yes.
did you did this in 2021? Okay.
Yes.
Do more.
Hey, Nancy, did you use white or did you dilute the paint?
I think because, I had trouble with, again, a couple of years ago, learning watercolor, I was getting too messy and wet. And when I finally did let the gates dry, and then I believe I used a blend of the gouache, a white gouache, and the blue, whatever that indigo or Prussian blue was,
Oh, it
to put
turned
a
out
last
great.
layer on there. Yeah,
Great effect.
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you very
This
much.
is actually our last slide, but I love what blue did you use in the sky? Because I like the way it sits back and behaves itself, whereas this blue down here is a little more intense.
Yeah, there's cerulean in the water, obviously.
Cerulean.
And that probably was just an ultramarine up in the sky, a very, very light wash,
Uh-huh. Okay.
because it's just
And-
almost as pale as the paper color.
Yeah.
Then in the gate, it looks at the gate and then also the flowers. I love that color. It almost looks like a violet mixed with ultramarine and white. I don't know what color
Yeah, I'll
that
have
is.
to go back and look. That again, it was December 2021. So it was probably my Winsor Newton professional set. So I'll look. There's a couple
Yeah.
of beautiful blues in there. I'm sure it's probably an ultramarine and maybe a Prussian.
Okay, yeah. Beautiful
Oh, no.
color.
Or I'm sorry, maybe a Payne's Gray. Probably a Payne's Gray combo.
Okay.
I'll look. I'll